Good morning, family, and welcome to today's Lessons for Life. Today is Sunday, January 18th, 2009, and today we will be reading from Leviticus chapter 21.
Okay, very good. Josiah, did you read this chapter?
Well, yes.
Okay. Josiah, you read it too?
Yes, I did.
All right. What did you get from it, Josiah?
Well, what stuck out to me was that the priests, they're not supposed to really marry any woman that has lost their virginity.
Okay, good. And that's actually what stuck out to me as well, that I wanted to bring up for today's Lessons for Life, which is kind of a subject that is, I would say a lot of times skipped over in the church and kind of intentionally not talked about, which is sex. But it's a very natural process that God gave us for even recreation, and that's how you guys, of course, were even brought into this wonderful world, right? You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. But that's what I want to talk about too for Lessons for Life, and how it says a priest is not supposed to marry someone who has lost their virginity. And what I wanted to mention even about sex, and I've learned that the sex is not just a physical experience when two people, come together and are intimate, but it's actually more of a spiritual experience, because one person has really allowed the other person to get so close to them, and they want to just give themselves into that other person, and they want to join themselves and manifest physically. But it's more of a spiritual thing first, that they've gotten so close with that person that they want to now have a physical intimacy with that person. And that's what the sexual experience is. So now, when you have a virgin who's someone who hasn't had sex yet, it's really this lesson that I want to bring up for this Lessons for Life is it can help you as you get older and as you start to form your relationships and even look for your husband or your wife, that if you get someone who has not had sex or not been into it with anyone else before, then it's so much easier for you to form your relationship with them. Because if you think about marriage, all right, now you want to get married eventually?
Yes.
Okay. So you ready to get married now?
No.
Okay, good. But
I'm waiting 7 years.
7 years? Okay. 7 years you'll be 20. That's the age I was when I got married. But if you think about when you're marrying someone, really, like how Mommy and I are, you become one. So you've completely given yourself to the other person. You've completely opened yourself up and given yourself to the other person, and you become one. And when you, as we explained what sex is before, that you're actually giving up some of yourself, some of your spiritual self, because you've allowed yourself to become so intimate with someone else. You can't then just separate from another person, being like, if let's say someone goes around, they have sex with a lot of different people. It's not as simple as just, when you wake up in the morning, you walk away and it's done. No, you've given some of your spiritual self over to that person, and there's still that connection that is still formed between you and that person. So now when you're going to get married, or you find that one that you want to spend the rest of your life with, you've already given up some of yourself to, how many people that you had experiences with before. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, let's say Josiah, you want to marry a girl, right?
Yes.
And then she has a pie. You gotta stay in the camera. So she has a cake, and you love cake, right?
Yes.
Let's say you want to marry a girl, and she has a cake, and she has this cake that's baked just for you. But before she's even met you, she starts slicing up the cake and giving this cake to a couple of different people. You understand my point? What I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So then when she comes to you, she don't have a full cake because she gave up some of that cake to other people. All right.
Order.
Yeah. Well, whatever. But that's how I'm kind of putting it in a simple way so you guys can understand what it is. So you want someone who comes with her full cake.
Yes.
So you can have all the cake, because then there's some stuff you gotta. Well, it just saves a lot of problems that can arise, and this is from experience. This saves a lot of problems that arises in a relationship, even from from just the past spiritual attachments that were formed from the previous sexual experiences. So that's what I got from the Lessons for Life. And I think one benefit even that Mommy and I had was that, just like you were saying before, we were married at a young age, and I think even that's why, even back in Bible times, people were married when they were real young.
Yeah.
Probably like maybe about Japhon's, well, I don't know about Japhon's age, but 13. But they were married when they were very young. So I think that's really one of the benefits of being married at a young age, that you haven't gone through as many experiences, you haven't gone through a lot of different attachments with different people, but you've actually been able to form that one relationship like me and Mom were able to form with each other at a young age, and then just we grow and we develop together. So that's what that stuck out for me from this chapter. You guys understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
You sure you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I like the part about the cake.
yeah, the cake. Well, I think that breaks it down really good. So you like cake, right? All right. So, but that's really with today's Lessons for Life. As always, I encourage you all to read the chapter 2 for yourself. There's other stuff in this chapter. You saw other stuff as well too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's other stuff, and if you want to email us, you can email us. We'll put it on the blog. But that was really what I want to bring up for Lessons for Life, and you saw the same thing that I saw. And I just want to touch on a little bit, just understanding that the sexual experience is not just a physical experience, but it's actually a spiritual experience, and it's more than just the physical part, and it's not simple. It's just separating and going your separate way. But there's a lot of hurdles that's going to have to be overcome once you find out when you're going to marry at a later age or whatever. So it's easier and better just to kind of keep yourself for that person that you're marrying. But with that is today's Lessons for Life. What do we say at the end of it?
Create yourself a wonderfully blessed day, and we'll talk again tomorrow.
Great.